With its bumpy, dusty surface, the Interlagos circuit is tough on cars and tough on drivers.
Thank you, Murray, and welcome to round 2 of our F1 99 Championship. As we go to round 2, which is in Brazil, which many years ago used to be at the beginning of the season. Sometimes it was the opening round of the season. As we go to qualifying, we've seen it started off a bit wet, but it's dried out, so we'll go out on dry tyres, and this game just loves to troll you. So you think, go out on dry tyres, let's get a quick time in, and it starts raining. But I thought, you know what, let's give it a go, let's see what happens. As we go over the start-finish line to start the lap, and through turns 1 and 2, it actually felt pretty grippy. It felt like I was able to throw the car into the corners. As we skip a little bit more onto the lap, I've decided to go for a little bit of an onboard, but we come across one of the McLarens here, and it did cost us a little bit of time. As we see, it's Rubens Barrichello who's on the pole, and we're over half a second down as it starts raining again. This might be our best time of the session, depends on what happens with the weather, as we go up the pitch straight through that little kink and across the line. Where do we finish? We are in 2nd place. That's a good lap, seeing as it was raining. And we skipped to later on in qualifying, and we just couldn't really find any improvements. Like we're 7 tenths up there, but we end up running wide. And I thought, I'll come in, let's let the rain die down, and I hit the wall of the pit entry, which need to avoid in the race. But skip later into qualifying. I'm over a second down on my previous best, and we're here near the end. We've got quite a bit of traffic with the back markers here, as I actually hit the back of the arrows, and actually hit them twice, and that was to be a problem in this race. But we'll go to Murray Walker and the grid.
Sitting in the grid at 3rd slot, Rubens Barrichello. In 4th, Mike's Harold Frentzen. 5th place for Jack Villeneuve. Damon Hill takes 6th place. Pedro Diniz takes 7th. Ralf Schumacher is 8th. Olivier Panis is 9th. Giancarlo Fisichella will start 10th. 11th is Alessandro Zanardi. 12th place for Jarno Trulli. In 13th place, Johnny Herbert. Teranosuke Takagi takes 14th. 15th place for Ricardo Zonta. 16th place for Eddie Irvine. 17th for Marc Genet. Pedro de la Rosa. 18th. 19th will be Alexander Wurz. Stefan Salazar starts 20th. Baby Coulthard, he's 21st. Someone's got to start last. Today, it's John Alesi.
So a bit of a topsy-turvy grid there. So Irvine and Coulthard way down 16th and 21st. They've had an absolute shocker. But we're going to expect them to come through the field quite quickly as we go to Murray Walker and the red lights.
Here comes the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's clear, and away we go.
So it's a good start by the leaders. I'll get about an average start as Jacques Villeneuve is up our inside going into turn 1. And he gets slightly in front of us, but we're still there. And we'll be able to get that position back. We've got that Mugen Honda engine, which is really powerful compared to the Supertech and that VAR, and we just power in front of him, and we get away really quickly as we go into turn 4. We're going to be chasing down Rubens Barrichello, who gave us a really hard time in the last couple of laps in the last Grand Prix in Australia over that final point as we go uphill into the twisty infield, and we're actually up his inside into 3rd place. It's a fantastic start as we chase down Michael Schumacher, who's in 2nd place. So it's Mika Hakkinen first, Michael Schumacher is in 2nd, I'm 3rd, followed by Rubens Barrichello. We go towards the final corner. We'll be able to sneak up the inside. We're really close to Michael Schumacher, who actually got up his inside as we climb up the hill through all these left-handed little kinks, and we're into second place. And we're chasing down Mika Hakkinen. We're in his slipstream. We might be able to challenge him into turn 1 here on the second lap. This is a fantastic start as Mika Hakkinen outbrakes us slightly. And we're still fighting with him going into turn 3, and we're actually in front. That's a fantastic start by ourselves, as we aim to pull away quite quickly, as I'll skip to the end of the lap just to get the timing classifications up. So after 3 laps I think I am 5 seconds up, and then I pull away at about a second a lap, so much so that when it comes up at the lap 10, it refuses to actually put the timing classification up. That's how far ahead we are. As we go on to lap 15, we're starting to lap some back markers now. We've got Stefan Sarazan in the Minardi in front of us. He's subbing for Luca Badoa, who had a crash in the Ferrari whilst testing for them. And in the real life Grand Prix, he actually had an absolutely fantastic race before he crashed at this corner here. One of the most spectacular crashes you've ever seen. He hit the tyre wheel and spun around like 7 or 8 times. And it was a bit of a shame because he was running ahead of Olivier Panis at the time. And Panis was the person who actually finished 6th in the real life Grand Prix. So that could have actually been a point from Minardi, from Stefan Sarazan, as we continue to go past some of the back markers here. We're just getting past the second arrows. As we see there, our teammate Damon Hill has actually retired from the Grand Prix. Could that mean that we might have a few problems later on? As we skip to the next lap, I've actually run wide there, and we've got a yellow flag. That is Jarno Trulli in the cross, who has blown an engine, so maybe I slipped on some oil there going through the opening corner. That might be why I ran off the circuit. As we get confirmation there of Trulli retiring on his 17th lap. And throughout the first part of the race, it was just mostly lapping back markers. As we passed Johnny Herbert there, we come up to Olivier Panison's second cross, and he was a right pain to get through. As we hear from Murray there, he's avoiding making any comments there. He's probably not happy at this driving from Olivier Panis. He should be letting me through here with the blue flags, but it's making my life really difficult, and we've actually made contact with him. So quite thankful that we didn't get any damage from that. As we are slipstreaming down the pit straight, we'll be able to get him into turn 1. He's getting a bit defensive here. He really doesn't want us past as we go up the inside, and he's actually chopped across us and he's hit us. Has that given us any damage as Johnny Herbert unlaps himself? I actually thought that might be Ruben Barrichello at first, but it was just Johnny Herbert unlapping. And it did actually give us a bit of damage because we were losing about 2 seconds a lap to those behind us. If you have a nice little slide there, maybe tyre wear's also kicking in. As we look behind, that's Alex Zanardi in the Williams, and he's actually going up our inside into turn 1. This is not what we want. We're going that slow that we're being unlapped as we skip forward a bit more, and that is Mika Hakkinen behind us, so this could be our lead going. Maybe that damage from Olivier Panis was a bit worse than what initially seemed, as Mika Hakkinen is trying to get up our inside here. We're going to go very defensive as we climb the hill, and we're going to make him go the long way around going into turn 1 as we're about to go over the start finish line. And Mika Hakkinen is alongside us. Will we be able to go around the outside? We have a little bit of a slide there, and Mika Hakkinen has taken us for the lead. A great overtake there by the McLaren. And we'll be under pressure from the Ferrari of Eddie Irvine as we skip to the next lap, and we have another slide there, so there's a big problem with this car when it comes to heavy braking, as Eddie Irvine is going to put us under pressure as we go into turn 4, and we're a little bit wide here. Will he be able to get a run going up the hill into the tight infield section? And I believe we also got a back marker in front of us as well, so that's going to make my life doubly difficult as Eddie Irvine is getting up our inside and he's taking second place, and we get a little bit of a touch there from DC. So we could be losing third place here, possibly fourth place, because Michael Schumacher is there as well. The only thing I can really hope for is that our team can fix it in the pits, because the pit stops are in the next couple of laps as we go into the final corner, and wasn't the best of runs there, so we might be under pressure. And I think that's Michael Schumacher who's actually passed David Coulthard, and he is going to put us under pressure here as we go over the start-finish line, and trying to do the same as what we did with Mika Hakkinen, making him go the long way, but that Ferrari power has got him in front, a little bit of contact, and David Coulthard is through as well. They go off the track into the pit lane exit. So we're down to 5th place. Hopefully we don't lose any more positions than that, as we skip to lap 36 here. So we've got some people in the pits. We've got Mika Hakkinen, and I think Michael Schumacher was in the pits. It was either Michael Schumacher or Eddie Irvine, as we shortcut turn number 2 there. And we go to the end of lap 37. This is our lap to come in, as we get the low fuel warning message along the top. We come into the pit lane. We've got that limiter on. We're not going to get caught speeding today, as we've got David Coulthard in the pits, and he's pulled out right in front of us. Will he be investigated for a dangerous release there? As we come into the pits, so that's Zanardi in the second Williams passing us there, and Johnny Herbert leaves the pits as well. So we are down to 4th position, I believe, as we release the speed limiter, and we are indeed in 4th position. But the person who's really lost out on that is Mika Hakkinen. He's had a really poor lap, and he's actually behind us again, even though he was quite a few seconds in front. So maybe there's problems in the pit stop, as they're going to put Johnny Herbert under a bit of pressure to lap him. As we go towards the fast right-hander, we'll be able to get him around the outside. Yes, we will. And we go to the next lap. We've got a few more people in the pits. Ralf Schumacher was in there, and David Coulthard's stuck behind one of the back markers here, and we're going to take 2nd place. So that's Giancarlo Fisichella in the Benetton. The back markers have been a real handful today. As we go into turn 4, and we've actually run wide, and Coulthard's hit us, and he's in the wall, and Coulthard's out. Will that require a safety car? As we made the mistake, and David Coulthard just left us with nowhere to go, and that's him out of the race. As we skip forward here, and Fisichella's still being a handful. He's held up the Ferrari and the McLaren, and we've gone into 2nd place. We're going to be chasing down Irvine for the lead. So Fisichella, like Panis, was just a real handful to get past, just ignoring the blue flags. As we go into turn 4, this is where we had the crash with David Coulthard, and we actually hit Mika Hakkinen as well, but he's got away with it. So we nearly took out both McLarens at the same corner. So Mika Hakkinen's car is obviously a little bit tougher than David Coulthard's, as we go to lap 43 or 40, it's 42 or 43, and Mika Hakkinen's been held up by the Minardi, and we've just carried on that momentum, and we're back into 2nd place. We're on a little bit wide there, but we have held the position. So it really was the story of this race, was the back markers, as we are chasing down Eddie Irvine, and he's actually being held up as well, and we're going to take the lead here. So he got held up by the arrows, we took advantage of that, and we're in the lead. So the back markers have sort of worked both ways. It's worked against us and it's worked for us. As we have a look at Ricardo Zonta here, and he chops across us. So are we going to be under pressure from the Ferrari? As we look behind us, and we're actually on left ahead, and to be honest, largely nothing happened for a bit until we got to lap 65, where I got held up by the back markers again, and the leaders are actually starting to gain on us. You can see there we've got a 10-second lead. Go to the next lap, and I think they gained something like 2 seconds on us. Yes, 2 seconds. So if it carries on like this is going to be a really close finish. We only got a handful of laps to go, and just each lap it just kept going down, and it's just getting tighter. As you see, 4 seconds there at the end of lap 68, going on to lap 70, And that's Jacques Villeneuve behind us in the BAR, and he's going to put us under a bit of pressure. He wants to unlap himself. I believe he was in 7th place at the time, so you know, really was a lot of lapping going on in this race. As we go under pressure here, we've actually made a mistake. We run off the track as we get the yellow flag. Jean Lacey's out, and we see there on the timing screen we've got a 3-second lead. That's probably going to be less than that after we run off the track. And we make a mistake through turn 4 there, and that BAR is still right behind us. It's making me feel really nervous that I keep making mistakes as we go into the uphill right-hander. We run a little bit wide, and the BAR sneaking up our inside there. He's going to take the position. He's unlapped himself, and he's actually pulling away. And that's Mika Häkkinen behind us. So yes, this will be a tight finish for the win as we go on to the penultimate lap. And we're only a second in front of Mika Häkkinen. You know, will we be able to hold on through the final 2 laps? You know, we had the trouble last time where we lost the win on the stop-go penalty. We deserve this win. We've been absolutely dominating this race, but this could be similar to Australia. We could be coming away with a lot less than what we actually deserve. As we go into the twisty infield here, and they are really catching up as I have a slight slide there, and Mika Häkkinen and Michael Schumacher are behind us. Eddie Irvine just a little bit behind them, so we might not even get a podium out of this. As we go into the downhill right-hander, downhill left-hander, Mika Häkkinen's got a run on us, and he's made contact into the final corner. Are we all right? He's off the track. Michael Schumacher goes into 2nd place. As we climb up the hill onto the pit straight, we're about to start the final lap. We're going to have to go defensive as we go over the grid. And that's Eddie Irvine as well, so we're going to make Michael Schumacher go the long way round. And Eddie Irvine, he's come from 16th on the place on the grid, and he's up our inside. He's in the lead, and Michael Schumacher goes into 2nd as we start the final lap. This is fantastic racing. Eddie Irvine has come from so far back, and he's in the lead. As we have a run at Michael Schumacher, we'll be able to get 2nd place as we go into turn 4. I've made a mistake and I'm on the grass, and Mika Häkkinen has gone through into 3rd place. That is surely the lead and the race gone for us. Who is going to finish 1st, 2nd and 3rd out of those 3? As we go through the final corner on the final lap, we see Mika Häkkinen's got a 5-second lead. And it's going to be Eddie Irvine again. So Eddie Irvine is having an absolute fantastic start this season, 2 out of 2. Michael Schumacher will get 2nd place. Mika Häkkinen recovers from that retirement in the first race to get 3rd. I'm in 4th, Ralf Schumacher is 5th, and Rubens Barrichello finishes 6th and gets the final World Championship point. So what I was hoping to do here is I was hoping to press continue, which then lets me put it onto the menu where I can save the game, but there was a bit of a problem as I'm just going to be quiet for a few moments here and let it play out.
It crashed, so I haven't been able to save it.
Yep, so unfortunately I wasn't able to save the game after that Grand Prix, which is a bit of a shame because it was an incredible race to be in. But I don't want to restart the race and ruin the championship because it was a fantastic race to be in. I'll leave it to you in the comments down below. Should I redo that race, or should I just continue, just go on single player, just set it up as a full Grand Prix and just carry on as if it was the championship? Because I'll put the top tables here. So as we got on the screen at the moment, it is Eddie Irvine leading the championship with a maximum score of 20. Michael Schumacher is in 2nd with 10. Coulthard is 3rd with 6. And then we've got a three-way tie for 4th place with 3 drivers on 4 points. But it'll be Mika Häkkinen that is at the top of the pile because he got the podium, and no one else has got a position that high. So it's Häkkinen from myself, from Ralf Schumacher. Our teammate Damon Hill is on 3 points despite that retirement, and Rubens Barrichello has 1 point. So that leaves Ferrari top of the constructors with 30, McLaren are 20 points behind with 10. So they both had both DC and Hakkinen both having retirements. One retirement apiece in the first 2 races. So that's really affected their championship. We're in third with 7 points. Williams have got 4 points and Stewart have 1. So that will be all for this video here. Our next round will be in San Marino, which is probably my least favourite track on the game. I just don't like it on this game. It's just so tight, narrow. You know, it's a lot of very tricky turns. So I'm not expecting a good race on that one. Hopefully, maybe some of the championship leaders might have some retirements. But you know, if you want to keep up to date, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, leave a comment down below. Just help make this become a big thing. I don't think I'm going to be an Aratha or Tim Marduk, if that's how you pronounce his name. I don't think I'll be as good as them in terms of video quality, but this is just a good bit of fun, and you know, spread it round. So that'll be all for this video, and we'll see you next time.